Hello, today is April 10th. It's now 7:17 p.m. Here we are once again, another week without having anything to talk about. And today it's going to be a short one because I didn't even want to be here. Okay, I didn't want to come here today. Okay, I'm just feeling shitty today. I'm feeling like a piece of shit today. And so nobody listens to this podcast, so you might ask. Actually, you won't ask because you are not listening to this. But if you were, maybe you would ask, why are you recording this if you do not want to do this and if nobody's going to listen to this? Well, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe I have some hope deep inside of me that someone will listen to this. Maybe I have this futile hope that maybe I can do this, which I obviously can't. Okay, I can't even speak properly. I don't even know if people can see. I can speak. I don't even know if people understand what I say. Because I don't know. I don't even know where to record this. Okay, I don't know where to record this because everywhere I go, there's a lot of noise. Like, it's dark now. It's 7 p.m. It's getting cold, and everywhere I go, it's noisy. Okay, it's loud, and you know, like why am I even doing this? Like, so far this has been the fucking worst thing you probably have ever heard, if you heard this. Like, why am I even doing this? I don't know, man. I don't know. I I usually like doing this. Okay, I usually do this, and I am happy about it. Not about the results. I'm happy that I do this, but today, man, and I have been a shitty person today. Okay, the reason I am feeling shitty is because I have been a shitty person today. Okay, I have done shitty things. I have thought shitty things. I have just been shitty. Okay, I have just been shitty. And now there's a girl approaching my car. Actually, a woman, and she's passing by now. Bye. Anyway, so I have just been a piece of shitty. Piece of shitty. Yeah, that's what I have been. I have been a piece of shitty today. Okay, and I've got angry about things that are inconsequential. I've got angry with things that are stupid. Okay, and the thing about getting angry and feeding your own anger is that at the time it's like drinking, right? It's like drinking alcohol. At the time, it seems like such a good option. It seems like such a good idea, right? When you are drinking, you're like, okay, just one more beer, okay? Getting a little bit more wasted now would be perfect. I would enjoy this night if I was just a little tiny bit drunkier. And I'm usually a calm person, I would say, I guess. But sometimes, things pisses you off, and sometimes small things pisses you off. And today I let something small piss me off. And when you get pissed off, it's good. It feels good. It's like drinking. When you start drinking, it starts feeling great. And then you keep feeding those thoughts. And you start thinking, like, with each thought, the fucking ideas get crazier and crazier. And you keep feeding that fire of anger. And at the time you're like, okay, man, I am usually a calm person. I am usually chill. So just this time, I'm going to let these feelings fester and grow and consume me. I will, on my own, allow those thoughts of anger and bitterness consume me. and I'm going to feed them, and I'm going to be an asshole because I'm usually cool, right? I mean, what bad could it do? Could it do to just be an asshole for just a small amount of time? And just like drinking, you always regret it later. You know, I at least I always do. You know, I always regret it. And today it was no different because I fucked up my day, getting angry about things that didn't matter, that were not important, right? And now I'm in a shitty mood because I've wasted a day thinking about stupid things and think like what's the word now? I always forget the most important part, the most important word that would summarize everything, and I just always fuck this shit up. You know, what's the fucking word, man? Now I need to know the fucking word that I was trying to get at. You know, I cultivated, that's the word that I was thinking. You know, I cultivated those feelings that I knew were stupid, right? But instead of having the courage and, you know, just, I should just get my shit together and not think those thoughts. But no, I was like, no, I am right. I have a point, and I'm going to be angry. And now I'm feeling like shit. As if I had fucking drunk the whole fucking night and woke up with a hangover. You know, that's how I'm feeling now. Literally. That's the thing, man. Like, and it's hard to control yourself when you are angry. Just like it's hard to control yourself when you start drinking. Like, I do not drink often, and one of the reasons why I don't drink often is because I'm bad at stopping, because it starts getting fun. So you think, well, and I know this is stupid, like I know that it does not get better, but at the time you are so fucking stupid, you know, you are indulging yourself so much in your own misery that at the time no thoughts make sense. And so you keep going, you keep drinking, and you keep thinking stupid things. Then later on, you regret it, but it's of no use because you are going to do that shit again. Okay, and I don't want to get pissed off again at small things, but I probably will. I hope not. I hope this is the last time. Maybe letting these thoughts out will help me become a better person, right? Maybe. I don't know. I just feel shitty, okay? I just feel shitty. And I could use this to make a co-title for this episode of a podcast, right? Like you know, when people that are not content creators make a rant video and it blows up, like that video of the day in the life of an ugly guy. Like, I don't know if that's the correct title, right? But there's this video about this guy where I don't know, I didn't watch it, but I often see videos like those in my feed where it's just the rant of a guy, and for me at least those videos get traction because of the title, because it's always a title that is inviting, that makes people relate to, right? So like the day, how is the life of an ugly how is the life of an ugly guy? You know, people are going to see it and they're going to get interested in it, you know, maybe because they relate to it, maybe because they are interested in seeing how the life of an ugly guy is, you know, maybe because they have some belief that they want to, what do they want? I don't fucking know. But you know, and there's other videos like those, you know, just random people saying random rants, going on random rants and ramblings. So maybe I could use this opportunity to make a clickbaity title, like "The Day in the Life of Someone That Gets Pissed Off by Small Things. Maybe that would blow up. Probably not. There's no way something ever blew up after someone said, maybe this will blow up, right? That probably never happened, right? There's also like the video, for example, another example of titles that got the attention. Why do they get people's attention though? Right? It's like a challenge, right? There's also this video called this video is never going to get 1 million views. And the video has like 11 million views. I don't fucking know, maybe that's too much, but it has more than 1 million views. But the video is called "This video won't ever have 1 million views" or something like that. And I feel like those titles, I don't know why the fuck I'm theorizing about titles or YouTube titles. I don't fucking know, man. I don't have anything to talk about today, so I'm just going to say whatever the shit comes. Okay, nobody listens to this anymore. Not even I am listening to my podcast recently. My podcasts have been stuck with one viewer, sometimes even zero for the longest time, because I don't even listen to my podcast. But anyway, so the thing about those titles is that I think they are like a challenge. They are like can I put this? They are like a challenge to you. They are like, oh, your video won't ever get 1 million views, huh? What do you think about this? I'm going to watch your video and I'm going to help it get to 1 million views. Like, well, I'm so like the miserable life, day in the life of an ugly guy. Like when you see those titles, it challenges you. You're like, oh, you were an ugly guy, huh? I bet you are pretty miserable, right? I bet you are pretty happy being miserable, being an ugly guy, right? Well, how about I click on your video and give you 1 million views and make you famous and make you get a woman? How about that? Huh? You think you are better than I just because you are an ugly fuck? No, you are not. You are not. Okay? So I think those titles get people going, I think those challenging, those provocative titles, they stir something inside people, So I need to think about a provocative title for this episode. Even though this is probably the worst episode I'll ever do, because I really don't want to be here. So what could be a provocative title? What could be a title that gets people going? Maybe something like, my podcast is so bad I don't like. Not even I listen to my podcast. Maybe this. Something like that. Something along those lines. I like that. I like that vision. I think maybe this is it. I think this is it. Okay. Sometimes I think about titles for videos that I don't even make. There's some things like. There are some things that I have been thinking about talking for a long time now, but I never got the opportunity. There was never like a moment where it would be like organic to talk about them, and I don't like to introduce topics because it's hard, and it's even harder when there's like no bridge to introduce something, right? Like I have title ideas for videos that I don't even make. Sometimes I think about a phrase that I think this would be the perfect title for this video, for this type of video, but I don't even have the fucking video. Maybe that's what I was born to do. Maybe I was born to make YouTube titles. Okay, one title that I always think about is "This Situation is Crazy." Every time I see a video titled something something situation is crazy, I always think to myself, I hate this person, and I want to make a video called "The Situation is Crazy," where I just rant about fucking videos about the situation being crazy. You get what I mean? Whenever I see a video titled like that, whenever I see a video of someone saying that certain situation is crazy, I always think to myself, I hate this person, and I want to make a podcast ranting about hating those people. And I want the title for this episode to be "The Situation is Crazy." Just the situation, like, not, I don't even say what situation is crazy. I just like the situation, the whole fucking thing is crazy because, after all, life is crazy. So the situation is always crazy. So you see, I think about creating episodes for a podcast, and then I complain because I don't have anything to talk about. Like, ever since, like, I'm not even joking, man. I have been thinking of this idea ever since I started this channel. Another thing, for example, like, I have this title on my mind, like 10 mistakes you should do in your 20s. Because every time that a video pops up on my feed of some asshole coach talking about mistakes that they made in their youth that you should avoid, every time I see this type of titles, mistakes you should avoid when in your 20s, mistakes you shouldn't make when you are young. I hate this type of videos, and I don't even watch them. I just hated the fucking title. Okay? Because, like, think with me for a second. These people are boasting about how their life is good and how they have the answers to their lives. Okay? And then they make a video about mistakes you shouldn't do. However, if you think about it, if your life is so good, if you know the answers to life, then maybe the mistakes you made, first off, maybe the mistakes you made were not that big of a deal. Second off, maybe if you really are in that position of your life where you are doing well and you have the answers and you are someone well resolved with yourself, maybe, considering, like, if we pretend that you are not just lying to take off people's money, then wouldn't it make sense to say that maybe those mistakes were part of your growth, and maybe those mistakes were what led you to become this great person that you say you are, right? So now you are telling me that you are a person that is well off, you are rich, you are jacked, you have the answers, you don't have depression, you are always fired up, you always have energy, and you are always well, and you eat perfectly, and you have the fucking perfect life. You are telling me that, and you are telling me that you made mistakes, and that I shouldn't make those mistakes? Like, why shouldn't I make them? I mean, you made them and you achieved this life, which is bullshit, but let's pretend that it's not bullshit. Just to expose that piece of crap. And there's people that buy this shit. So there's a long time I have been wanting to make a rant about this for like the longest time. I think even before I started this podcast, I have been wanting to talk about this shit, and I never did. And my idea for when I talked about this podcast, the idea that I had is that I'm going to title this video 10 mistakes you should make in your youth. And I was hoping that this title would be provocative, it would be innovative, it would be creative. And in my mind I was thinking, when I make this podcast, people are going to flock to this because of this title, and because I'm going to be pretty funny too. Like, you know, in my mind I thought to myself, I'm going to be pretty funny. I mean, surely, my rants are funny, right? Surely what I have to say is funny, right? I mean, why wouldn't be? I mean, I'm a genius. I mean, I don't speak to people. I don't have stories to tell, but surely my ideas inside of my head are funny, right? Well, turns out they are not. Turns out they are not funny. And I think that the 10 mistakes you should do in your youth, like, I like this idea. I think it's funny, but I don't think I have the capacity to extract all of the potential in it. The same thing about people that make see X situation is crazy. Like, I think that's a good idea. Okay, being modest here. Okay, I'm not saying that I am good. I'm not saying that I'm a genius. I'm not saying that I'm funny. On the contrary, I'm arguing against myself here. But I think it's a good idea. I'm not good enough to extract the full potential of it. Because I have been thinking about this shit for months now, and I was never able to fucking use it. Why did I get here? I don't remember. Oh yeah, the like, so, tell me now, aren't those titles amazing? Like, I mean, I'm being modest here, but those titles are amazing. Okay, a podcast where you rant and complain about people that try to teach you the ways of life, titled 10 Mistakes You Should Make in Your Youth. Like, that's a great title, and it's even greater if you do make a list of 10 mistakes you should make in your youth. And it would be amazing if those mistakes were, like, pretty fucking absurd, right? For example, one mistake that I think everybody should do in their 20s is have a fucking toxic relationship. Yeah, you should have a toxic relationship on your 20s. I mean, it could go either way, but there's a lot to be learned on a Jesus, I can't fucking say that word. There's a lot to learn when you are in a toxic relationship, because people always talk about, whenever people say that they were in a toxic relationship, they never mention, like, it's always the other person is toxic, right? And I'm not trying to blame the victim here, but in my experience, toxic, Jesus, why can't I fucking say this word? Toxic relationships are kind of toxic. What the fuck? I'm not going to say toxic anymore. I'm going to say fucking venomous. What's another word for something that is bad? Acidic. Whenever you are in an acidic relationship, yeah, maybe sometimes one person is the asshole and is just fucking acidic as fuck. But maybe sometimes, like, I think most of the times, acidic relationships are acidic both ways. And you could be the fucking asshole that just pretends that the other person is the problem. But if you are smart and humble and beautiful like me, you could arrive to the conclusion that you were in fact also an asshole and an acidic idiot. Because I had an acidic relationship before, and looking back, man, like, I suffered a lot in that relationship, and I can say with certainty that a lot of the suffering I inflicted myself. I made the other person suffer, and a lot of the suffering that I went through was because I was an idiot, and I was acidic too, and I had a lot of acidic traits. I probably do. I haven't been in a relationship in a long time, but I probably still have acidic traits that are going to show up when I am a, when I I'm living with someone, not physically, but in a relationship setting. I probably still do. And there's probably a lot that I have to learn. So, that's a mistake you should make in your 20s. You should be in an acidic relationship. You should learn how you behave, who you are when you are living inside of a relationship, who you are when you have the stress of having to give someone attention. You need to go through that. You need to know how you react when you are feeling jealous, or when you are angry with someone. Like that's an experience that you have to go through. And you could go through that in a normal relationship, but I think that you know sooner or later everybody's going to be in an acidic relationship, and sooner or later, sorry sorry sooner or later you are going to be the acidic asshole in the relationship, because we are all assholes. Okay, that's the conclusion that I always get to. We are all assholes. Maybe not. Maybe I'm the only asshole. I certainly am an asshole. I already said at the beginning of the podcast that I am one. And that's a mistake. Okay, so what is another mistake that you should make when you are young? And can I say that you should use drugs? I don't know if I can say that, but I think that's like, I don't do drugs. Okay, I never smoked pots, for instance. But I think that's a problem. Like, I think that's a problem in my life. Maybe I think that maybe I should use drugs. I should at least try them. But I am square, right? That's how people say, right? That's the slang for being like not hippie, not hip. It's hip to be squared, right? That's the song, right? But I'm kind of a square, I am close-minded. I honestly, I am scared of drugs, and I think that if I ever smoke pots, I'm going to become schizophrenic. I'm terrible with alcohol, and even though I have been smoking for 2 years now, whenever I smoke, my blood pressure gets low and I feel dizzy. And all it takes is a single cigarette. So I have a really low tolerance for drugs in general. Like three beers is already enough to knock me out for 2 days. So I think that if I ever use cocaine or weed, I might die, or I might become schizophrenic, or I might get catatonic. I love this word, catatonic. What a fucking funny word, man. Catatonic. I fucking love this word. But I don't do this. I don't do it because I'm scared. However, maybe that's a mistake that people should make in their 20s, Why? I don't know. I don't have unlike the acidic relationship, I don't have a thesis. It sounds like I'm talking thesis. I don't have a theory. I think that's a better word to use, But I don't have a theory why young people should do drugs. But it sounds cool. It sounds provocative. It gets people going. Saying that the youth should do drugs is counterculture, I guess. Like everybody says the youth shouldn't do drugs, but here I am saying that they should to become a good person. I don't know, man. If whatever it makes you be rich, when you are in your 40s. Like, whatever steps can get you there, you should make them. And maybe doing drugs in your youth is one of the steps. Maybe. I don't know. It's like a butterfly effect, which I hate, by the way. Like, no, man. The fucking flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil is not going to make a fucking hurricane in Japan. Okay, shut the fuck up, man. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. I hate this fucking saying. I hate this explanation to the butterfly effect. Do I have a better one? No, I don't. And it's not that I don't believe in the butterfly effect. I mean, I don't believe in the butterfly effect. Like, there's no way if the flap of the wings of a butterfly is going to cause a fucking hurricane in the other side of the world. Okay, that does not happen. Okay, because if it did, there would be hurricanes all of the time, all over the fucking place. But they don't. Okay, so the fucking flap of the wings do not cause a fucking hurricane. Okay, but I do believe that sometimes small things can have big consequences. And maybe if you do drugs when you are young, maybe if you are a fucking shithead, a completely lunatic in your youth, maybe that's going to make you become someone better in the future. And when I say someone better, I'm saying someone rich, because that's the only thing that matters in the world, okay? Because, I mean, the people that sell those courses, man, like, do you really believe that they are good people? No, they just want money, okay? Like, being successful, being good, is having money. Okay, so if you do drugs in your youth, and you are a completely maniac, and you get rich in your 30s, then great for you. You have succeeded in life. And this is not a critique to capitalism. This is just a fact. Okay? So yeah, there's plenty of mistakes that you should make in your youth. And are they really mistakes if you should make them? Well, that's up to you to decide. Okay, that you decide that. I'm not going to draw conclusions for you, But yeah, I think that maybe that should be my profession. Maybe I should become a professional title YouTube maker. Maybe not. I don't know, man. I get kind of scared. It's starting to get cold now. And so the day gets darker earlier. When I started recording this podcast, I would go out of home to record it at around 7 p.m. And it was summer, so the sun was out and it was bright. But now it's starting to get cold and the days are shorter. Whenever I arrive here at 7, it's already kind of dark. And I'm kind of scared because I don't really go out at night. And the homeless people, like I talked about the homeless people last episode. But I'm going to say it again, man. They are kind of scary. They are getting scary. They are not scary. They are getting scary. They have been doing some crazy shit around town. So, whenever, it's dark. Okay, that's... Why does it matter? I don't fuck know. I'm just saying I'm kind of scared. I'm risking my skin to record a podcast that nobody fucking listens to. Not even I listen to this shit. I just want to let you know that. Okay, I'm risking my life for this shit. So you better watch this shit. And you better like it. Okay, and you better like it. And this video better get a fucking million views. Okay? And if it does not, I'm going to make a video called "This video won't ever get a million views." And it's going to get a million views. Okay? Capiche? Have I challenged you enough? Is that enough of a challenge to you, motherfucker? Huh? You little bitch. You fucking, huh? So, yeah, it's getting colder. And I like it. So, I was searching On my lunch break today at work, I was searching for jackets. Because I wanted to buy one of those. Um, how are they called? The people that chop wood, woodlanders, farmers, harvesters, lumberjack. Is it a lumberjack? I don't know. Those guys, they wear some cool jackets, and they want to wear a caramel, a brown colored jackets like the ones those lumberjackers use, with a black t-shirt below. What? Like, can you? Was that enough for you to be able to imagine the look? Were you able to create the imagery in your brain with my description? Well, I want to wear a t-shirt, and I want to wear a brown jacket shirt like the lumberjack guys use on top of it. And I want to look pretty on it, and I want to look awesome on it. I want to rock that look. So I was searching. Because the winter time is a great time for you to look beautiful, right? Because people just look better when it's winter, I guess. You look fancier and you look cooler, right? It's a great opportunity. So, I was searching today for a brown or caramel. I don't know the name of that fucking color. I was searching for a brown shirt on Google today. And I shit you not, like, the fucking 10 first recommendations that Google gave me were from Temu. The Temu, the famous Temu, the infamous Temu. Infamous Temu. I like that. That would be another great title for a podcast. You see, like, I'm a fucking genius, actually. Maybe I'm wasting my potential. But so the fucking first 10 recommendations, the first 10 advertisements were from Temu. And I never bought from Temu. I don't know if it's good or not. But there's kind of what's the word? I fucking keep forgetting. There's some prejudice. I have some prejudice, against Temu, because I have heard people saying bad shit about it. I never actually bought there, but since I believe everything that I read on the internet, I believed that the fucking website was shit. So I didn't want to buy there. I didn't want to buy there, but I clicked the ads because I was like, okay, maybe it's better than I thought. So I clicked the fucking link to a shirt that I thought looked cool, to a jacket that looked cool, to see the fucking the reviews. And the fucking site was saying that I could get the shirt for free, actually. The fucking, when you download a mobile game on your smartphone and you open it for the first time, and there's a fucking 1,000 pop-ups and a fucking wheel for you to spin to win some fucking great reward that is always the fucking same for everybody, Like, I tried downloading, like, I like card games. I never played Pokemon. I never watched Pokemon. I don't know anything about Pokemon, but I like card games. So I downloaded to see what the mobile Pokemon card game was about. And I shit you not, that game is about collecting the cards and not actually playing with the cards. Like, I spent like a fucking 2 hours going through the pop-ups and going through the tutorial on how to fucking collect cards. And all I wanted was to fucking build a deck and fucking play the fucking cards. And there was always a fucking pop-up, and and oh, you got a pack. open this pack to see if you can get a super rare reward. As if these motherfuckers were not fucking giving everybody the same reward. Like, I know the fucking pack is going to give me something that is predefined. I know that you give the fucking same shit to everybody, man. Can you stop making me waste my time and lose my fucking time spinning, seeing a fucking animation that I know is going to give me something shitty? So I opened the fucking ads to see the jacket, and that fucking popped up. They will pop up. And I'm not a peasant, so that type of thing does not get me excited. But I can see how a peasant would get excited when seeing a fucking casino wheel on their Chinese shopping websites. So I was like, okay, let's give this shit a try. I mean, actually, I didn't even want to see the fucking wheel. I wanted to see the ad, and I wanted to see the fucking reviews on the fucking shirt. But there was a fucking wheel standing in front of me between the fucking Chinese jackets and my will to buy a cool jacket. So I cave in and I fucking spawn. Like, how the fuck do you say spin the wheel in the past? I guess I just fucking spin the wheel. I spin the wheel. Okay, that's what I do. I spin the wheel. That's what I did. That's what I'll do. That's what I do right now. I spin the wheel. I just spin the wheel of the. Anyways, I spun. Whatever. I spun the wheel, and the fucking wheel told me. It said to me in a vision that I had won that item for free, and all that I had to do was download their fucking app, and I would actually get a jacket for free, right? So, well, I already told you that I'm not a peasant, so obviously I didn't fall for that. But that did pique my curiosity. That piqued my interest. I was like, how far does this habit hole goes? How many lies can they tell until I arrive to the truth that there are no freebies on Temu? And I was on my lunch break, and usually I take a nap on my lunch break, so to re-energize. But I was like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice my nap time during this lunch break to see how far the Temu habit hole goes. And I was like, okay, I'm going to install your app. Yes, I'm going to install your Chinese spyware on my smartphone, and I'm going to log in with my Google account to give you all of my information, just out of curiosity. And so I did. I downloaded the app, I logged in my accounts, and there it was. It was still there. It was saying, you won this jacket for free. However, what I did not expect was that it was not only the jacket. Matter of fact, for me to get the free jacket that they said they would give me, I had to pick other 5 items for them to give me the items for free. They were like, you downloaded this app to get 1 jacket for free. Guess what? For you to get your jacket for free, you have to pick other 5 items. And all of those 5 items are free too. At that point, I was like, what the fuck? That was not what I was expecting at all. I mean, I was expecting for it to have a catch. I was like, okay, there's no way this jacket costs $0. There's no way they are giving items for free here. So I called their bluff. And when I called their bluff, they doubled down and they said that I had to pick 6 items, including the jackets, for free. For me to be able to get the only fucking item that I was interested in was the fucking jacket. But now I had to fucking scroll through a fucking infinite amount of Chinese fucking things. And supposedly they were going to give them to me for free, right? So I was like, okay, it's impossible for this to be true, right? I mean, one jacket for free is already fucking insanity. You are telling me now that there's 5 more items for free? Like, this is impossible. I was a skeptic, of course. I'm not a peasant. Okay, I don't get... I like, those things, they don't bother me. Okay, those things, they don't get me hustled. Okay, I can control myself. So I was scrolling through the because I wanted to, like, I knew that was bullshit. I knew I was not going to get anything for free, but I was interested. I was curious. So I kept going. I kept scrolling and I kept seeing a lot of bullshit that nobody needs. Nobody fucking needs any of that shit that is in there, I need a jacket. I mean, I don't need a jacket. I want a jacket because I want to look cool. I don't need it. So yeah, I keep scrolling through this infinite list of bullshit. Okay, watches, glasses, sunglasses, some sort of weird ass screwdriver that promises to fucking fit every type of screw that exists. Every sort of fucking junk there. And the list just went on and on and on and on. And I spent like a fucking hour choosing my fucking 6 free items that I totally knew were not going to come for free. And then I realized, like an epiphany, I realized what the deal with Temu is. There's no way they are going to give you free items, right? At that time, I didn't know for sure. Maybe there was a slight hope inside of me that maybe, I mean, this is probably a fucking Chinese company that has infinite fucking money, right? Like, this fucking store is probably backed by the Chinese government. These guys probably have infinite money. Like, they could probably fucking give clothes to all of the 7 billion people alive and still have infinite money to spend, right? They probably could give everybody in the world free stuff and they would still have fucking infinite money. So there was a slight hope inside of me that kept me going, that kept the dream of the cool yellow, no, not yellow, caramel brown jackets going. There was a sliver of hope left. But scrolling through the list of infinite items, like an epiphany, I already said this, but I'm repeating myself. Like an epiphany, I understood what the deal with Temu is. Now, for you to understand how this works, you need to understand how the mind of a peasant person works. Peasant person, just peasants. You need to understand how the mind of a peasant works. Now, they draw you in with the promise of a free item of your choice. Anything that you want, you can get it for free. They make you install an app. They make you give you your data. You make they make you give them your data. Jesus fucking. Anyways, anyways, they draw you in. Now that you are in, you are already inside their trap, but you don't realize it yet. Because you start going through that list of useless junk that nobody needs. However, that's the mind of an enlightened person. That's the mind of someone who has transcended. That's the mind of a genius like me. Because only enlightened people can withstand the attacks of consumerism, capitalism. Okay, just like only an enlightened mind can withstand the waves and the punches of capitalism, like mine. So the mind of a peasant does not work like that. The mind of a peasant sees a list of infinite junk that nobody needs, and what they think is, I need this. And that's where they get people. Because the person starts going through that, like every announcement, every item, they're like, oh, this is so cool, oh, I need this, oh, this is so useful. And when you see it, even if Temu did give that person, that peasant, 6 items for free, that person probably bought fucking 1,000 items. And like, they actually paid for them because they were just fucking entranced by the list of infinite junk on their websites, right? So they hook you in to show you something that people shouldn't be shown. Okay? People shouldn't be in contact with infinite Chinese junk. It's just like drugs. People shouldn't give the first snore. They shouldn't give the first puff. They shouldn't be shown the first infinite Temu list of items. But the world is cruel and brutal, and it gives no quarters, and it's not merciful. So these poor, stupid people are shown the infinite list of items on Temu. And just like that, just like a gambler gets addicted to gambling websites, a stupid, poor peasant that likes to consume cheap things that were probably made by slaves, just like that person gets addicted to buying things that they don't need. That's the conclusion that I arrived to. Okay, that's what I wanted to say about Temu. However, my story goes on, actually. So after fucking 40 minutes looking through that fucking infinite list of items, I finally picked 6 useless things, like 5 useless things that I didn't need and that I didn't want, and the shirt that I actually wanted. So I finally picked 6 fucking useless things. And I hit next. And now now I'm excited. I'm like, okay, are they going to screw me over now? Are they going to tell the truth? Or can I actually, like, that's not possible, but can I? No, but can I? No way, no, but maybe. Maybe? Am I going to get the items for free from China? And then something that I didn't like this really shook me to my titties. They gave me 4 more items for free. I'm not even joking. Actually, they didn't give me 4 more items for free. For me to be able to get the past 6 items for free, I had to choose 4 more. I had to pick 4 more items to be able to get the past 6 items for free. And those 4 items were all also free. However, here's the catch. And finally, I arrived to the fucking catch. Those 4 items that you had to pick, they had to amount to a certain amount, right? What's the fuck am I trying to say? They had to add to a certain amount. Let's say $200. Okay, those 4 items, those 4 big items, they had to amount to $200. And what they said is, you pick those 4 items, you pay for them, and we are going to reimburse your money. And now you can get 10 items for free. And all you have to do is pay for 4, but don't worry, those items are also free, and we are going to give you back the money. So I fucking closed the app, I uninstalled it, and I was happy that I was not a peasant that ever had any hope to get shit for free, and who wasted 1 hour that they could have slept, not because they believed that could be possible, but because they were just curious, and they wouldn't fall for that shit. Okay, I mean, I installed Chinese spyware in my cell phone. Who's there's probably, if there's nobody listening to this podcast, I can rest assured that's at least some fucking Chinese agent listening to this right now, because there's probably some Chinese spyware in my cell phone still. Even though I uninstalled the app, they probably fucking infected my cell phone with something, but I don't fucking care. Okay, so I did all of this just for science, okay? Not because I actually thought that maybe this could be No, I never, that thought never crossed my mind. I mean, there's nothing free after all, right? And if there is something free, you are probably the product. Ha 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 ha, that's such a fucking smart thing to say. I'm so smart, ha ha ha. Anyways, that's my history with demo. Okay, are you entertained now with my misery? And I still, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to actually buy a fucking shirt, a jacket, a brown caramel jacket now, because every fucking ad is from Temu. I can't fucking find a real fucking store to buy a fucking jacket. All I wanted to get was a fucking jacket, and I just fucking lost 1 hour of sleep. I feel so fucking stupid. Anyways, I actually was going to just record fucking 30 minutes today, because like I said on the beginning, I'm not feeling good today. Well, here I am, fucking 58 minutes. Maybe this is the one that will blow up. Probably not. When I arrive home, I'm always scared to listen back to the episodes. And every time I do listen back, I always think to myself, holy shit, there's no way this will ever work out. I am just terrible at this, and I should give up. And I should use this 1 hour that I spend recording this shits. I should just spend fucking doing something productive with my life. But fuck that, I like doing this, and I'm going to keep doing this. Fuck this. Okay, so I'm going to go, and I hope to be here next week. Okay? Bye bye.